Hi, I'm Ria. I'm the co founder, creative director, and designer at Rama, a Gen Z focused Indian ethnic clothing brand. Alongside building Rama into a seven-figure business, I have just recently moved to London to study at Imperial Business School. And this video is less about me and more about how you can do something similar. Build something meaningful, grow it big, and still take up opportunities that come knocking at your door, be it education or anything else. I'll break everything down exactly step by step so you can take what works for you. Well, now Nisho never started with big investors or a lot of funding. It is bootstrapped and it started with two kids, me being 19 and Ramnik being 20, being curious about our culture, our background, and our storytelling. The gap in the market we aim to solve is that 80% of the apparel wear business is still Indian wear in India, but nothing is for young adults. Everything's very auntie focused, too old fashioned, and then that also kind of pulls us away from wearing Indian and embracing it, right? So we created silhouettes that mix tradition and modern fashion with still keeping the authenticity of the fabrics. I'm talking about pomegranate dyes and indigo and whatnot, everything handmade. Everything that the Western world pays a pretty penny for, and we have absolutely forgotten. Like yoga. And here's the first lesson: you don't need permission to start. Most people wait for the perfect idea or capital or timing, but we started pretty small with what we had, and that's what created the momentum. I think what created the difference was we never intended to just sell clothes, it was telling a story, building a community, and I think that's what created it into a seven-figure business. So, lesson one would be to not overthink the start. Just begin with whatever you have: the skills, the resources, the network. A lot of people still ask me that if I already had a business, why did I choose to study? Here's the thing: running a company gives me experience, but to make it global, I need the exposure, access to investors, frameworks, and perspectives. And that's why Imperial, because not only does it have a great brand value and certification, but also a very strong ecosystem. I mean, professors who've scaled businesses themselves are running multiple together, classmates who are either future VCs, investors, or even entrepreneurs. And honestly, London's startup scene by itself, it's different. So the takeaway here for you would be, even if you're doing well, never stop learning. Sometimes it's going to be formal education, or mentors, or accelerators, or masterminds. The point is, seek rooms that stretch you. Now let's talk logistics. How do you run a business while going to school? For me, it's three things. First one is systems. Nisho runs on SOPs and dashboard. Customer service, barcoding, refunds, returns, everything is automated. So I'm in class, but the business still runs. Point number two is people. You cannot scale a business alone. Ramnik and I always try to hire a team who we really trust so they can focus on execution while him and I focus on strategy. And the third one, my favorite, is boundaries. The first bit is always for Rama, calls, work, etc. The second bit, the afternoons for my lectures, any schoolwork, etc. And the last bit, evening, is for working out, social events, networking, all that. And of course, content. The key lesson here is that if you want to balance multiple roles, then make sure to make systems that don't need your presence 24/7. The biggest shift is actually the mindset. At 21, people told me to play it safe, take a stable job. I even considered a career in neuropsychology out of interest. But I realized that my brain was wired to storytell, to experiment, to build. So here's my mindset framework: don't wait until you feel ready. Treat every attempt as a live experiment. Fail fast, learn publicly, and adapt quickly. This mindset is something that helped Rama fly off the ground, and also something that helps me stand unique and imperial. I did not apply with a checklist or grades, I applied with a story and one clear mindset and mission: to make Indian craftsmanship global. Okay, so now how you can do this? Here are my steps. Point number one is start with what you know. Your first business does not need to be groundbreaking, it just needs to teach you execution. Nisho is our seventh venture. Point number two is build your personal brand. Content gave me the power of visibility, credibility, and an eye for investors. Share your journey, don't hide it. Point number three, think long term. Don't chase small wins, but build onto ideas that compound. Point number four, invest in yourself. Whether that's doing a course or getting mentors or moving a country or getting a degree. The return in investing on yourself is always exponential. Remember, it's not about copying my or anybody else's exact paths. It's about identifying implementable principles. Just start, share, scale, and invest into growth. So That's why I chose to study abroad while building a seven figure company. If you want to know more about my dual life as a founder and a student, or how I manage Nisho remotely, let me know. Or even if you want help with the SOPs that we use, etc., I'll be happy to help. Leave me a comment. And if you're in your 20s, please dream big. I promise you it's possible. You just need to start. Alright, then, see you the next time.